Now I move High to the Congress chairman, Nasuna.
Dear friends, first and foremost, may I say that from the depth of my heart, I'm really grateful for all my speakers who took their time and shared their valuable, their insightful views on a topic, on an aspect, on a theme, on a problem that, believe me, is not going only to determine the fate and future of our part of the world, but the entire world. Most importantly, I'm grateful to all audience who have been so patient, that sitting here since 11 o'clock and it is 6:30, it is 7.5 hours. It is not common that a conference goes on for 7.5 hours. But most importantly, and I really feel proud of the team of Words in the Congress. My God, those people, they were up since last 2-3 nights until 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and still they are up on their feet. I'm really proud of them. I'm proud of my own friends who gave us respect and came here to attend this important session. Because time is short and many important aspects have been covered, and therefore I don't want to replicate, I want to go through important aspects. Before the build-up of Second World War, there was a lot of talk, diplomacy, conflicts, assessments, political analysis. And some thought that this Second World War will not happen. It will be restrained, it will be constrained. But nobody thought, even in their wildest dream, that what death and destruction and suffering and pain and displacement the Second World War will bring, nobody has got that wildest imagination. Because the conflicts at that level, conflicts at that dimension, it is very unpredictable. I'll tell you one thing, and remember that. Because we only see things when things occur, when things happen. The problem of extremism and terrorism, combined with the current global situation, because I think about last year and I think about this is 1 year's gap, and that 1 year world has significantly become a far dangerous place. I'm not fear-mongering. Has become far dangerous place, has become far volatile place. And combined with the extremism and terrorism, believe me, it has got a potential to bring the death and destruction that we will forget Second World War. Even probably the way it will spread will be different. Because say for example, Second World War went for 6 years. If this war starts, it will go for decades. It will paralyze the whole societies. The world needs to understand it now. Because of their petty interest, because of their strategic interest, because if they want access to this water or that water, they don't understand. Because in nuclear physics there is a reaction called chain reaction. Once that is started, you cannot stop it. And it will start getting momentum and speed within its process. So once this process unfolds, the death and destruction it will bring, it will be unimaginable. Unfortunately, although there are many global powers, they've got far better, superior armies and resources and money and arms and technologies. But Pakistan is one of the most significant partners in the rise and the spread of extremism and terrorism. And that is inherent to the state, which is dependent on just one institution. There's no other institution. There's no other power. There's only one power, and that's it. And over the period of time, that is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So unfortunately, we are part of that region, currently part of Pakistan, which is the most significant partner in that extremism and terrorism. Unfortunately again, because when there are earthquakes, the effect of earthquake can go into thousands of miles. For example, this earthquake, the epicenter was somewhere in Afghanistan, but there was death and destruction in Pakhtunkhwa. Understand? And sad. The epicenter, what we worry as Sindhi people, that one of the epicenter of the earthquake is going to be Sindh. Because of its geostrategic importance, because of its resources, because it falls in a state which has got its own structure and geopolitical alliances. So we as Sindhis are in a very, very, very difficult situation. A situation as alarming, as common, that we never witnessed in entire history. And there is a poem I forgot from Dr. Tanveer Abbasi, that there won't be any prophet, there won't be any book. Masiha nahi do, koi kitab nahi do. We have to do it. And if we can't do it, it's not an easy challenge. We don't know. For example, somebody asked me to do a surgery. I don't know surgery. But I have to learn surgery within a month's time, and I should be able to do this. It's such an alarming situation. Think of Karachi. Karachi, at the time of partition, the population of Karachi was, in 1941, the last census, when Britishers left, was 488,000. The current population of Karachi is 20 million. That is a 40% increase, 40 times increase. It has increased 40 times in 70 years. Means the population of Karachi has doubled every second year. More than doubled. And that hasn't happened anywhere else in the world for the existing cities. Yes, there are new cities which are built, that's a different case. That hasn't happened. Adi Aisha was talking. She's a researcher, she's based on facts and analysis and assessments and surveys that how the extremism is spreading. This is a question of a survival, to be or not to be as a nation. And simple thoughts. We have to really, we have to learn, we have to understand. And in this international world, we have to position ourselves. We have to make the international community understand. There's a poem of Shah, Pade nai parurataka raat rajai gudri. My neighbor knows not that I'm living in hell. How many people in the international community who can make decisions, who can help us? They know the situation of sin. Is the sin on the radar? There is a report. There is a systematic, there is genocide. So you come and you kill people in thousands, that's a genocide. There is literally a similar genocide. There's a report 2 weeks ago, World Nutrition Report. And World Nutrition Report says 70% of the population is malnutrition, has got got malnutrition, 70%. And again, if you see disaggregated figures, so Karachi is not as bad, Hyderabad is not bad. It means 90% of sin is malnutrition, 35% is disease. 7.2 children under 10 are out. This is silo genocide. And then on top of it, the rise of religious extremism and the terrorism, the way the military alliances are taking place, and the way we are fragmented. This is the bad. This is the worst thing. We are fragmented. We, as Adi Aisha said, we really haven't put an alternative narrative. We have failed. If we don't recognize our failure, how can we change that situation? Not only that, the human rights violations, because what we say, what is the relationship between the rise of extremism and terrorism and human rights? Because those forces who support terrorism and extremism, they want to crush the nations in Pakistan. Because Sindhis, Balochs, Pashtuns, Saraikis, Punjabis are historical nations. History has formed them. They are crushing Sindhis, Balochs, Saraikis and Pashtuns. Look what they have done with Pashtuns. Bacha Khan's land. What they have done with that? Look at Saraiki. Ask Adi Aisha, she will cry. Go and see what they have done with that. Look at the thousands of people disappeared. So, those people who is prayed are responsible for extremism and terrorism. These are the same people who are responsible for human rights violations and crushing us. Therefore, if they become stronger, we will become weak. And the international community has to understand, because other friends say that this is not to us. Once this is spread, they think that these conflicts could be constrained. We will manage this. Okay, so there is currently ice, but we have got so much power. We will manage that. They misunderstand. They were thinking same about the Second World War. We will constrain that only to few areas. But when it is spread, the Second World War, 3/4 of the globe was affected by it. They couldn't prevent it. They couldn't constrain it, regardless of all their strategies and policies and thoughts and assessments. Therefore, they have to understand, once that starts spreading, it cannot be prevented, it cannot be frustrated, and their societies are more vulnerable. We have to form the case. We have to formulate our case. We have to tell the international community that those who are crushing us, eventually the potential of the extremism and terrorism is so huge you cannot understand, and it will not constrain to us, it will come to your doors. But at the end of the day, for us, we have to work for our nation, we have to create alternate narrative, we have to create the organization, and we have to create our own case. And once again, thank you very much.
I have got 3 questions, unless nobody has got on with